First of all, sorry, Sri. I realised as I hung up, you started saying something in the last class. So please, it was something about a ticket. That's all I heard. Because as soon as I pressed the off button, I heard your voice. So please tell me either through a message or in if you can join in this session. Yeah. But so if I felt really bad. Yeah, it was really rude of me. But yeah, I pressed it just as you spoke. So Chow's back.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something a bit different. Now we're going to learn more about vocab and stuff like this to do with wealth and other words like how we use rich and stuff like this, because we had a lot of discussion and we'll see how it goes to make it more interesting for you. Okay, sure. So what does it mean, for example, if I said you're eating a pasta dish, yeah, and the tomato sauce is very, very rich. What does this mean?
The tomato dish is very, very rich.
The tomato sauce is too rich.
It's too rich. Too cheesy, or I don't know.
Cheese is a good thing, right? So I think, but too rich is kind of negative. In the context of describing how food tastes. Okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Or chocolate. The chocolate cake is too rich, or the cream. Whatever is too rich. It tastes too rich.
And someone, if I remember correctly, someone told you to do something, but he himself didn't keep his words, and he's too rich. Yeah.
Yeah. Too rich. You can describe in someone. Oh, that's rich coming from you. We say, yeah. Right, so that's rich coming from you. So if you don't value the other person's opinion because they're trying to be on some kind of moral high ground, then you would say, that's rich coming from you, meaning I'm not going to listen to that from you. Yeah, I'd listen to that opinion from anyone else apart from you. Yeah, you don't respect that person enough to value their opinion. So, Dennis, the cake is too rich. The chocolate cake is too rich for me. What does it mean?
Very sweet.
Yeah. Too sweet, too much flavor.
Too strong, maybe sometimes.
Yep. Yeah. The flavor's too strong. You can't eat so much. Yeah. If you have, for example, if you describe the tomato sauce as rich, there's so much flavor that you can only eat a bit. Yeah. So I usually add vinegar to tomato pasta sauce, and lots of people would say what, but in the UK we eat a lot of vinegar on chips and things like this. But it's not normal to add vinegar to tomato sauce, but I always add it, and everyone, when I cook this, says it's too rich. Yeah, as a polite way of saying it's crap. Yeah, I don't like your cooking, but they say, yeah, it's a little rich. Yeah, so Martin, thank you for cooking, but it's a little rich. Means it tastes too strange, but in that context. But usually it just means it's got too much of a big flavor that you can't eat too much of it. If it's a chocolate cake, it's too sweet or too chocolatey, and you feel sick afterwards. Yeah, that would be rich. You describe it as rich. Michael, do you like rich things? In the context
what do you mean by that?
The context of taste, do you like to eat rich things?
What do you mean rich taste?
So, Chow, can you explain with an example?
I mean, just means you eat too many chocolate, and or something is too. Could I say?
It makes you feel sick cheesy? Almost. Yeah, not cheesy. Cheesy means, yeah. For example, if it's a cheese sauce and it's too cheesy, then it would be rich. It would be a rich cheese sauce, because too much cheese can make you feel. Even though it's tasty, it's just. Yeah, you get this feeling. Okay.
Just you eat too much of them.
Yeah, it's too rich, and it's a polite way of saying I don't want your food. Yeah. So, although often, if you go to a shop like Marks and Spencer in the UK, to buy some kind of food, they would often say this as with a rich gravy. Yeah. So meaning our gravy tastes of gravy, but really strong gravy. Okay. Actually, that's a point. Do you know what gravy is? Chow? Do you know gravy?
Oh,
Show you because this really
gravy.
it's not useful to you, but it's just a very popular thing that we eat in UK, and you probably have something similar, Dennis and Michael, in Russia. 1 second. The sauce will be something like yeah. So we put it on meat. It's just a meat sauce, okay? Yeah, so it's nothing special, but we say this is rich because it tastes a lot. Yeah, smooth and rich. You can see an example of it that it's used. Yeah, so the gravy is smooth and it's rich, meaning it tastes really strong, and it tastes of gravy. It's a nice taste, but you can't eat too much of it. You like it, but you can't eat too much. Okay. Or if I show you rich chocolate cake, you'll get an idea. Yeah, yes, good example. Okay, so it looks good, but there's too much, right? You could eat some of it, but you couldn't eat the whole cake because you'll feel sick. Okay?
That is already making me sick.
Yeah, that's what rich means, is you look at it and it looks kind of delicious, but you know that you'll be sick if you eat too much of it. Or if I write rich cheese, anything like this. Yeah, so it looks good, but you think, yeah, too much of it, you'll... Okay? One more, this tomato sauce I was telling you about, right. Yeah, okay, look at this. It looks good, but it's probably too strong. You probably couldn't eat too much of it. Maybe too much salt. Okay, so this is rich and quite strong. Tasty, but you can't eat too much of it. Okay? Igor, did you understand?
Yeah. It's very. I like what you show. Cake. That cake.
You like
very,
cake? Man, I
very,
love
very
cake.
good. Very good cake.
It's
Of
good,
course,
yeah?
you cannot eat all cake, but a piece, it's okay.
So, who has cake? Guys, if we were doing, it would be really good if we did this face to face, because then we could exchange cake, yeah? So, Chow could give us a cake one day. I like this idea, but we can't eat cake. Okay, so, Zuran, do you like rich stuff? I trembled a little bit when I saw these just now.
Rich what?
Do you like rich stuff? As in, rich tasting stuff?
I think I like it. It means full of oil.
Could be, yeah, that would be very rich. Yeah, things like, I don't know, olives. Yeah, so if you eat olives, yeah, you can get too much if you eat too much. Or
I see. It's not healthy, is it?
yeah, rich is not usually healthy. It's usually they say anything that tastes good is not healthy. So chocolate cake is not so healthy. If it's rich, it means it's got lots of sugar, lots of fat, stuff like this. Okay, Juan has joined.
Martin,
Yes, please, Dennis.
can I ask slightly off topic about word deer?
Yeah.
In Britain, it means expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's dear. Meaning that's expensive.
Yeah, but which word is more common? If you are speaking about expensive goods,
It's dear, or what would be an alternative? So you can say, oh, that's really dear, but this is kind of old-fashioned, or that is pricey. I would say pricey. Oh, that's pricey. Got a high price. Oh, it's too pricey.
And dear is old-fashioned. Yeah.
My grandma would say dear. Oh, that's too dear. Yeah. So, Martin, if you've seen the price of milk, oh, it's too dear. Yeah. So that means it's gone expensive. So dear is kind of more old-fashioned, but you can use it. But I would say pricey. Oh, it's a little pricey, meaning it's a bit too expensive. Too much of a price.
Okay. Thanks.
And also with dear. Okay, so I'm trying to think of other contexts with deer. So, yeah, okay. Juan, you there? Oh, take care, Zuran, yeah? He's gone. Okay, Juan?
I'm here.
Okay, so rich chocolate cake. Do you like the idea of this? A rich chocolate cake?
Okay, I joined a little bit late. Rich as in
let me show
Very
you the
yummy
photo.
or
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I'll show you. Okay, this one. Okay,
Bloody sweet.
bloody sweet, yeah? It's bloody chocolatey. Okay, so, Yuan, do you like the idea of eating this?
yes.
Good.
What I don't like is the idea that it may lead to a diabetic coma.
Bah. Doesn't matter, yeah? No, okay, so, and could you eat the whole lot?
Well, to be honest, I have done it in the past.
Like this kind of cake? The whole lot?
Well, maybe not as big as that one, but maybe as the one on the left, down on the left.
Yeah.
That one. And
Guys, I really want chocolate cake now. Does anyone else want it?
I really enjoy it, but like half an hour later, the stomachache was so big.
Yeah, because it's rich, yeah? That's what we're saying. So to describe something as rich, it tastes good, but you can't eat too much of it. Okay, so I'm just trying to think to make myself feel better about, is it Matilda or something, where they put blood in the chocolate cake and make her eat it? Is it that film? I can't remember. Really childish film. Okay, so, yeah. But looks good. Sales of chocolate cake around the world have increased just right now, I think. Okay, so so to say rich in that context, to describe something as rich as an adjective, the rich chocolate cake, it just means it tastes good but not too much of it. But the next one, that's rich coming from you. Okay?
Oh, there are two teachers. Which ones are true? Which ones are real?
Sorry, can you see two of me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, I hope you didn't hear because I said the S word really loudly just then. Did you hear me say a bad word? When it closed, just as it closed.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
No,
okay,
actually
so,
no. Actually no. Actually no. No,
you should have seen me. I was like, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so just add some Nutella and you will, and that's what switches. So there's two of me, right? What do I do to get? I don't want two of me.
Oh,
You can
sorry,
reject one.
I forgot.
The other.
I forgot to put no.
You've got to what?
To put the word no.
Oh yeah, just add some Nutella and you will know what is richer. Yeah, Nutella is really rich. Yeah, so for things like when I was in Germany, they ate crepes with lots of Nutella. They'll just basically get pancakes. They'll just shove lots of Nutella on it and go, there you go, eat that. Yeah, and you're there going, it's tasty. But then you're like, yeah, so you can't eat so much of it. That is what you describe as rich. Have you tried this, Joanne?
Yeah, actually, it was crepes is the name also
Crepes,
in English. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we say crepes. It's French, I think, but we say crepes. But I don't know how they say it in France.
Crepes, yeah. I never had eaten them with Nutella.
Yeah.
But I have some friends that they cook and they have restaurants for a living, so they're very good at preparing food, and for one party they made that kind of crepes.
So the crepes and Nutella
flavors, yeah. They use Nutella as the base and also different flavors.
No, but what they did in Germany was they just put a whole load of Nutella, really filled it up and wrapped it up, and it was just Nutella, and on top they put sugar. Yeah, so for me, I was like, I ate it, but it was just like basically a crepe full of Nutella, and you're biting into maybe that thick Nutella. Yeah, and with sugar on top, yeah? So that was something, I don't know, that's not an experience. It's good to eat maybe 2 bites, but apart from that, it's like, it's too rich. What's the most rich thing that you like to eat, Chow? Yeah? So in China, is Chinese food quite rich? Chinese food that we buy in the UK is always sweet. They always add lots of sugar.
Actually, no. It varies from different areas. I mean, some You know Shanghai food? Do you know Shanghai?
No.
You know
I know Shanghai,
food?
of course, yeah, so I've heard of it
Yeah, you
somewhere.
know. Yeah, the Shanghai food is, I think, too rich. But some Sichuan food or Hunan food, it is spicy. And for me, in this area, the place I'm living now is, I think, delicate. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so it's okay, it's manageable, it's eatable. But Dennis, what about
Yeah.
Russian food? Is it rich, generally?
No, no, I don't think so.
I
Not
like
like an Asian food cuisine.
So I like the food in Minsk. I'm not sure how different food in Belarus and Russia is, but I really liked it. I thought it was tasty with the pancakes
It's
and stuff like this.
just the same.
So it's the same, like the blini and stuff like this. I really liked it, and the whole idea, like you put smetana on everything, right? So, well, not everything, but it seemed that way.
No,
I thought
never
it tasted
thought
good.
of it.
But this could be rich, right? For me, it was quite rich if you had too much. So it tastes good, but if you have too much sour cream, it would be rich, right? Or how much do you eat?
Or I don't know. I very seldom eat it. Actually, Martin, have in Russian literature there is a very famous short story about foreigner who eat blini.
Yeah.
It's Chekhov. Do you hear about this author?
No. Yeah, Chekhov. Yeah, I've heard, but we say it badly. Yeah, so we say Chekhov. But how do you say it in Russian? Chekhov.
Chekhov.
Chekhov. Okay.
Chekhov. Yeah. It's a short story about foreigner, about Russian who saw a foreigner at a restaurant, and this foreigner, I'm sorry, foreigner, so a Russian at a restaurant, a Russian ate this blini,
Yeah.
a lot, a huge number of this product, and foreigners was very, very scared of it, and finally he decided this Russian just decided to commit suicide.
Oh, okay. That's a nice story. Yeah, so that's good because of the blini. Okay, that's good. But I found I found Russian food very, very tasty, and also I like the borscht and stuff like this. But I thought I could imagine it being rich if you added too much. Yeah, so cream stuff. But I don't think anyone did. But I was tempted to just because I saw it as a novelty. Do you know what I mean by novelty? So for me, it's like, you put sour cream on pancakes, bleh, yeah. So put lots just because I thought this was unusual, yeah. So it's not so normal in the UK to eat sour cream a lot. But that's cool. Okay, so but if I said to you that's rich coming from you, Huan, I explained this maybe after you came a little bit. I started explaining it. Do you understand what this could mean? So if I say that's rich coming from you.
That's nice. No.
Yeah, kind of, but in a negative way. So, that's good coming from you. So,
I've had enough. So, yeah.
This is an advertising car. They drive around in some kind of advertising car with a thing. It's quite annoying. I don't know if this happens in China, Chow. Does that happen?
What is it about? Advice for what? Now.
I think it's if you take your washing machine out or some things that you don't need, you can take it out and put it on the truck and then take it away.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
all the same.
They do the same here too.
Really? For me, I find this very unusual. So I'm like, what? Yeah, so you can just go out and you shove something on their truck. In the UK, you just have to phone someone and they get really angry. They're like, okay, so it's not the same. So anyway. Dennis, do you know what this means? That's rich coming from you.
That's rich coming from you. I think it's like I've had enough of you.
Yeah, partly to do with this. But if I said, for example, if you did something that was corrupt to Chow, and Chow told me about it, and then we were talking about corruption, and then you were saying, oh, corruption is really bad, but I knew that you were corrupt with Chow, I would say to you, that's rich coming from you, meaning, why are you saying this? Yeah, so I know what you've done. Or, for example, if you commit a crime, and it's usually things that you do badly. So if you commit a crime, and then you suddenly say, oh yes, that's really bad, no one should steal. Yeah, stealing, for example. Yeah, so if, for example, Huan stole something, I saw him stealing something, and then I stole something the next day, and he said, Marty, you shouldn't steal. I'd say, oh, that's rich coming from you, meaning, shut up. Yeah. So yeah. So it's rich coming from you, meaning I'm not valuing your opinion. I think you can off. Yeah. So because I know that you're just saying it, you don't mean it yourself. Okay. So Chow.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you give us an example? I'll just get you to give an example. I won't give anything else. Get anyone else to do this for time. But can you think of an example? That's rich coming from you. Where could you say this?
In the exam, and somebody just cheat on the exam, and then he told me that it is not fair to cheat on the exam. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So if someone cheats and then you cheat and then they say, yeah.
Yeah, and I would say, shut up your pie hole.
Shut your pie hole. Yeah, shut your pie hole.
Shut your pie hole.
And keep it stum. Yeah, so shut your pie hole. Okay, so that's what it means. That's rich coming from you, and we usually say it in a very sarcastic way. One thing that I would say is different about British people and Americans is that we are very, very sarcastic, and this is something maybe that is particularly noticeable if you get a British person and an American. The way they talk with each other, British person is usually, not always, sarcastic. So things like, that's rich coming from you. This is kind of, that's a good thing coming from you. Yeah. So you don't mean really, oh, that's good, but you mean, yeah, like that kind of attitude. Yeah. So that's a trait of us, I would say, to be sarcastic and a bit arrogant with that, I would say. Okay, so that's rich coming from you. That's a good one. Let's go to the next one. So to be rolling in it. Okay, this is another word to do with wealth. To be rolling in it. Okay. In a minute, we will change the topic and we can talk about anything to do with wealth. Yeah. So if you want to talk about houses, cars, and stuff, we'll talk about that. But first, we'll learn some.
No. I just posted because it is. I found it and it's interesting because we were talking yesterday about expensive houses.
Let's have a look. Because I'm curious. Yeah, I like this topic as well. So. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. So in America, I think most of them are in America. I think.
Oh, but they are also listing Dracula's castle. I think is number at the beginning. It says it's 125 million.
Okay, so someone who lives in this, linked to what I was saying, they are rolling in it means they have so much money. But let's have a look at this for now. If you open this link, guys, and choose your favorite house. But to be honest, I really like this, but I'm just worried about how much it would cost to maintain it. Yes, you have to get someone to clean it because I couldn't clean. So, who would like to live? Actually, this house I really like. Okay, I think that's quite nice. Not too big. Of course, it's huge, but relatively speaking, compared to the others, it's not too big. Okay, so choose your favorite house from this link. Let's deviate away from it. Let's go away from the point. And describe why you like it. Okay, and then we'll talk about our dream houses and stuff like this. But I really like this house. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Kind of cute, yeah? So where is it?
I like it.
In Nevada. Okay, I didn't know Nevada. But they're all American, I think. But I think American houses are very, very big. And also, I think to buy a house is quite cheap compared with the UK. I think they say, for example, for the price of an apartment in the UK, you can buy a villa, like a villa-style house with a swimming pool in America. There's quite a big difference, I think. Yeah. So, but these houses, of course, are quite very, very expensive. Okay, anyway, yeah, so to be rolling in it means to have so much money. They can basically go to sleep on a bed of money. Okay? So, to be um, if you have so much money, one thing you could do is put all the money on the bed and roll in the money. Yeah. So that means we'll take a bath with the money. So if you're rolling in it, you have so much money, you don't know what to do in it. You just put it on your bed and you move around and enjoy it. Yeah. So, Dennis, that's where it comes from. Who
I
is
invite
rolling in it?
some girls.
What? With girls, yeah. So money and girls and chocolate cake. Okay. Choose the order. Okay. So, ciao. Rolling in it just means
Yeah.
to have a lot of money.
Yeah. So
If you were rolling in it, would you buy one of these houses?
actually, if I got this house, I would sell it for money. But if I got money, I wouldn't buy this house.
Okay, so if you had money, that's also cool. This one's cool. But you would, even if you had billions and billions of dollars, you would sell this for more money to get more money. You wouldn't just
No,
want to keep it.
no. If I have too much money, I won't. I won't sell it. I would stay there because some of them are just pretty good.
Yeah. And you asked who lives in these. What kind of person would live in this house? Because I don't know if if you've heard of a guy called Warren Buffett. Have you
Yeah, I
heard
know.
of this guy? Well, he lives in a very moderate house, a very average house. Have you heard?
I can guess. I can say.
Let's have a look. Rather frugal. Have you heard this word before?
Yes.
Juan, what does it mean?
Lifestyle or way of just purchasing um, the stuff only basic. Well, not basic, just the things you really need.
Well, to be honest, I don't think it's a bad house. Yeah, so they one thing that he's famous for is for living frugally, meaning he's got so many. He's one of the richest guys in the world. He's got what $50 billion, and he lives in for me, in the UK, that's a very big house. I don't know what the houses are like in America, if this is average or whatever, but for me, this is a very rich house. I don't know what.
I don't live in the US either, but I think yeah that size is like the average.
It wouldn't surprise me because I've seen and the prices I think are really low compared with the UK and stuff. So yeah,
Oh
okay.
yeah. After yesterday's class, I was so amazed on how expensive is a house in the UK.
And there's so much land in America. This is why, and a lot of Americans, for example, they go to the UK. They're really surprised in the conditions we live because we live in very small houses, definitely compared with most Europeans, and probably our average house size is a lot smaller than yours, probably. Yeah. So, Huan, what's the average house like in your country? So, how big would it be, and how many rooms?
About 100 square meter. Well,
It's
between
big.
50 and 100 square meter.
For
That
how many
would
people
be
would live there?
uh, well, let's say my house is 87,
Yeah.
including the garage, and it has two bedrooms. But it's very small. It's just for if I had a girlfriend or wife
Yeah.
only, because a little kid will
Oh,
be
come on, you
very.
could fit a kid in that. You could
Yeah,
fit a
but
kid in that.
yeah, well,
But it's not normal, right?
maybe I gave a bad example because this is an apartment in I think the name is loft or something
Yeah,
like
oh,
that.
cool. I love
Yeah,
the button. Yeah.
yeah. But there are in that same area, but in how can you refer to? Well, I call it a normal house, the one that has um, no second floor or Just
A bungalow.
Hmm.
So I
of course.
lived in a bungalow.
Yeah.
So my house, well, the family house is very, very, very small. So I don't know. I haven't got any pictures. I can't show you, but it is very, very small. And we're used to living in small conditions, and because we're used to the expensive houses, lots of people, British people, when they retire, want to sell their houses and go to another country, somewhere like Australia or somewhere like America, where you can get a much bigger house, much nicer house with a swimming pool, or somewhere like Spain, and you can live better, yeah. So than in the UK, that's only possible if you own your house and you when you're retired. Yeah, so and for us, we're like, this is amazing, yeah, because we're used to living in such small apartments, such small houses that when we go to one of these countries, we're like, yeah, wow, look at this, yeah. So it's quite exciting. Whereas you're probably like, oh, big whoop, yeah. So it's just normal in my country. But Chow, what about in China? How big are the apartments?
The average, I don't know, 8, 8, 80, 80 square meters to 100 square meters. Yeah.
So it's a good size. I'll try and show you some average houses in the UK, but these maybe I don't know what. Okay, no, that's definitely not average. It's definitely not average. What's that? Okay, so this. Okay, for a family, this would probably be about so, but it depends. If you're single, you'd live in a. Okay, this would be an expensive house. It depends. In my town, this would be expensive. This would probably be about $800,000. $800,000, $900,000 or so. So not the average for normal people, but yeah, something like this would probably be normal. So this kind of thing for a family. You see?
And maybe you can search
Yeah.
it for.
Those are depicted in the movies.
Yeah,
Usually.
this is, I would say, pretty an average house for a family, on average income, something like this. And the traditional way of saying it's like a 2 up and 2 down, meaning 2 rooms upstairs, 2 rooms downstairs. You have 2 bedrooms upstairs and 2 rooms downstairs, and usually inside it's quite small. But these houses are quite big; they're not average. Although, yeah, this would also be pretty average. And because of the land space, there's not so much land area. We always build up. Yeah, we don't have so big, wide houses. Yeah, I don't know what that's like in your countries. But Yuan, are they like 2 stories or are they like bungalows? I think in America they're usually bungalows and very big, so use a lot of land.
Yes, but here in my country, it's happening the same. There's no more space to make just 1-story house,
Yeah.
and now they're making these vertical apartments,
Yeah.
and but so modern architecture, I don't know how architectures do. Is
Yeah.
something that I always admire, how they make they handle to make so much room in little space.
Yeah. So they're being clever because the land is becoming more scarce, but generally speaking, it's only a new thing. It's not that you live in small houses. But Dennis, what's it like in Russia? And I guess it depends where you live. So in Moscow, probably it's a similar situation, right? So because I guess apartments are very, very expensive.
Yes, apartments, yes. But we don't have a real suburbs
Yeah.
like in Europe or like in US. So people live in these houses and drive to their work at city, yeah, town. People live in town if they work in town. So if to speak about apartment in towns, it's really small. For example, this room in which I'm now, it's about it's 3 rooms here.
Yeah.
I rented this apartment with my friend, and my room it's about 15 square meters.
That's okay. My room in the UK was maybe 10 or 11 square meters. Maybe 10. Yeah. In fact, maybe 8. Probably. I don't know, probably around 10 square meters in the UK. And when I went to Germany, I had a 12 square meter room, and I thought, yeah, look at me, I have so much space. And then some German friends saw it, and they're like, oh, this is tiny. How can you live here? Yeah, things like this. So it also depends. If you spend more money, you can get a bigger house, but it's not always possible. Okay, so yeah, that's interesting. Let's go to another thing. Chow said Chinese traditional house. Let's have a look. Oh wow, it looks good. It's not a temple, but it looks like a temple. This kind of style.
Yes, I like it. But the modern China's house is just a building and with clouded and just small house. I like the tradition.
And where would this be?
Yeah, just many people. What I speak?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
No. Where would this be? So would this be in the countryside, or where could you find this?
You can find it in the countryside, and you can also find it in Beijing, some area in Beijing. Yeah, but it is diminishing instead of
I guess it would be expensive in Beijing as well.
It's like a townhouse.
In fact, Beijing government protects such buildings. They just want to keep traditional cultures and buildings, so they protest. Such a building is very expensive. You can even exchange it into 2 or 3 house in a building.
Whoa.
It's very expensive.
Because they look good, yeah, and it's kind of like traditional stuff, and because it's got protected status. Well, it looks amazing stuff. Guys, the rest of you, could you show, like, if you have like the houses, the typical houses in your countries, what a traditional house looks like? Not maybe about the modern apartments, because I think everywhere in the world, apartments now look the same, right? I don't know. Do you think? So apartments. Do you think this, Xuan? Yeah. So the apartments that are being built in your city, do they look unique to your country or whatever, or do they look pretty standard? I'd say in the UK, the apartments now are they just build them like everywhere else.
Mm-hmm. It depends. It depends on the zone.
Yeah.
Or because there are parts that are not in extreme poverty or like that, but maybe the income is not as high as others.
Yeah.
So it is something that is very, can you say, very. I want to say, to refer that something that is like black and white.
Yeah.
So, for example, after one block, you will go to a zone where houses are.
So they're so different. They're so different. Yeah.
Completely different.
So you could say like chalk and cheese, but usually with this expression we refer to character. So your personality is different from someone else's personality, like chalk and cheese. But you could also say this about buildings, because buildings also have some kind of character. Yeah, so you could say it's like chalk and cheese, maybe.
Okay.
You could say this because it's kind of figurative what you're saying, but usually would say it's about personalities. So like chalk and cheese.
I'm going to look into a website of real estate that usually have different photos.
No worries, no worries. The thing is, I would say now the houses are quite boring in the UK. Traditionally, we had very, very good houses as well, nice houses, but now they're becoming quite, everywhere you go, they look the same. The traditional ones are like this. So like this was traditionally so, but now these are very expensive to maintain, and you see these in the countryside a lot. So in my village you would see these, but they're very, very expensive now because of this roof made out of grass, and you've got to change this every couple of years and stuff. So not many people have these, but in the towns, Yeah, the apartments look very, very boring. They're just sometimes concrete and grey and bleh. Yeah, so not so fun. Okay, so let's go on to another thing. So I'm going to look at this list again. Talking about wealth then, because other people in the previous discussion, so we're going to ask some of these questions, some different ones. Do you think rich people generally spend their money wisely? Do you think if a rich person is necessarily good with money? Zuran, what do you say? Just because you're rich, does that make you good with money?
I don't think so. I think it's just a partition. If a rich man invests his money on something, on something he will lose, and on something he will get success. And it's a partition. If he does more successful investment than the failure ones, then he will get more money. No one can always make wise decisions.
No matter how much money you've got, yeah? So we're all human. We can make stupid decisions as well, even if we've got money. So Chow, what do you think about this? When you see a rich person, do you think they are automatically good with money? Do you respect them because of this? Or do you think they could be just like anyone else? Are they special?
Actually, I think generally people would think that the rich people, they waste lots of money. When they buy something, they don't think about it, and they buy a lot of. And actually, they don't bargain. It is same as my uncle is relatively rich, so when he buys something or do something, they just don't care about the price. I think they are not good at bargaining, but they are good at investing money or makes more money. So I think even though they waste a lot of money, they can learn a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the rich are good at negotiations. They are just don't want to waste time on bargain, because bargain can save only
a few things, yeah, a few pennies.
Yes,
and stuff.
yeah. But in negotiations, he will save lots of money, and
So
he's good at it.
It's like cost benefit. You're thinking, right, if I spend time on negotiating on the small thing, I'm also in that process wasting my time, which happens to be rather valuable, yeah? So they know the value of their time. They'll just spend the time in the most effective way, I guess. Okay, so, yep, please, Chow.
They consider their opportunity cost.
Yes, opportunity cost, yeah.
Yes.
What does it mean for those who don't know, yeah? So, in fact, Dennis, do you know what this means, opportunity cost?
I guess. I just guess. No, how can I explain?
It's almost as it sounds. Almost as it sounds.
Yeah. No, Martin.
No worries.
Just I can explain.
Does anyone else know that this is like economics term? So it's quite, but it means kind of. It sounds.
Yeah, it's quite clear, but then.
It's how to explain it. That's always the problem. Is you understand in your head, but it's how to explain it. The cost of. Chow, you can say your explanation. Then I'll try and say mine. Yeah, what I understand it to be. Could you give a definition?
Let's say you do something like, I would give an example. Let's say we are taking the money class, but in this time, when we consider the opportunity cost, we just depend on this period of time. In this time, we can have the other choice. We can also sleep, and we can study the others. Compare with we are taking Martin's class, the other things is opportunity cost. We give up the other things. We give up the opportunity to do other things. and
Perfect.
to take this class.
Yeah, so the cost of, I'd say the cost of the next foregone alternative. That means, wait. Next foregone alternative, that means basically you could have done something else, you could have chosen to do something else, but that's foregone, that's gone, yeah? Before, now you're doing something else. So for example, if you have two choices, you either eat or you study, you have to choose one, not the other. Okay, you can study and eat, but generally you make one decision. For example, you get $1 million, Yuan. You could either invest in a house in America, a massive house, or you can invest in a tiny shed in somewhere in southeast England. Then you would make decisions, yeah? So you'd say, well, to be honest, I'd rather the swimming pool. That's a better decision for me, that's a better opportunity. So the opportunity cost, therefore, would be the house, the tiny shed in the UK. You said no to that, you said yes to something else. The opportunity cost is the thing you say no to, okay? When you have two decisions, yeah? So, Zuran,
Yeah.
do you often find yourself in this situation where you have lots of choices and you've got to work out what the best choice is?
You mean if I choose? Yeah, in all the choices, if I choose one, I have to give up other one.
And what are your criteria? So we're talking about this rich guy who would say basically, right, I could stay and negotiate, or I could go off and do something else.
I see. I heard a story about a rich man. I forget who he is, but it's a true story, I think. When he drop a coin or a check or a bill and so on, he don't pick it up because for him, the time to pick it up, with that time he can make more money. So he just drop the bill and go away.
Yeah, things like this. So you could either, for example, stay and pick up the money, or you could go off and save 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is the bigger opportunity? Which opportunity is going to give you the maximum benefit? Yeah. So it's when you're making decisions, you choose the thing that's going to benefit you the most. Yeah, to maximize benefit and stuff.
Yeah.
So give us some examples, Chow. Could you ask Dennis or Xuan or any of us, give us choices? Any examples? I'm asking you because I know you're good at giving examples, yeah? But if you don't have one this time, don't worry. So,
Yeah.
give us choices.
So, would you rather go to university or have a work? I mean.
Okay, work or go straight to work or straight to university. Xuan, in your country, what would be the choice? What would be the better option? To get a job or to study more?
To study more, definitely.
So what would be the opportunity cost of this situation?
Well, the jobs that you can achieve or aspire without higher education.
Okay, so that would be the benefit, but the opportunity cost would be the jobs that you refused in replacement for studying. So you have two opportunities. You can get a job or you can study, and you choose to study. So because you're studying, you cannot get the job, that job that was offered to you. So that is your opportunity cost. That's the cost for taking the other opportunity. Okay, and then is it worth it? Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, definitely they are, because the only jobs, the jobs that you are going to refuse are like just working in a factory or as a waiter.
Perfect.
And
yeah.
I am not offending, or it's not my intention to offend those kind of works. The problem is the income.
Okay, so things like this. The opportunity cost would be, yeah. So it's an opportunity cost because it would be a lower income. It's not worth it for you financially and stuff like this. But for example, Yuan, if you got offered a job, that they said, right, okay, Yuan, we see something in you. We're going to offer you. What would be a high salary? What would you how much salary would make you make the opportunity cost to be studying? So, if you got offered when you left school a salary, I don't know how, but you offered a really good salary, would you have ever taken this opportunity?
The good salary versus studying.
Yeah,
The good salary.
you take the good salary, okay? Why would the opportunity cost therefore be studying for you?
Because for aspiring that kind of salary, I have to invest about 5 to 7 years of study
And that's why
plus
it's a cost
experience.
to you. Yeah, so that's why it's a cost. It's costing you your time.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and also because well, I don't know if in this case applies that there's no certainty that over those 5 to 7 years there will be job opportunities with that amount of money.
That's also like risk reward. You're taking a risk. You want to spend the time doing something that's going to give you a reward at the end of it, but there's no guarantee for the reward. Yes, there's a big risk. But if you're offered straight away, then that's a lower risk for a good
Yeah,
reward.
yeah. For example, if 10 years ago someone studied information technologies,
Yeah.
they would have more opportunities than now.
Yeah.
Because now it is a trend, and now all people know that technology is useful and it's more needed.
I think Martin was.
I
Mhm.
This happened again. I tried to unshare my screen to show my webcam, but it
Yeah.
cut off. Okay, so sorry, Juan. Yeah.
No, yeah, that for example, 10 years ago, maybe someone um, could have think that studying computer or technology related wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
There will be no market, and but now, if someone study technology, although it is a fact that everyone knows that is a useful and needful tool
Yeah.
for life, there is more offer
Yes.
for employers
So it
of
could be the
personnel.
choice of things you do as well. So your choice of job even. Do I do this job because I like it, or do I do that job because it pays me money? What's going to give you the most benefit? Yeah. So things like this with choices. Dennis, do you find it easy to make choices? I'm very indecisive. Do you know what indecisive means? So
Yeah.
indecisive. Okay. Do you find it easy to make choices? If you've got two choices, do you find it easy to go that one rather than that one? And what are your criteria?
I don't know. It depends on kind of choices about what.
Things like even stupid things like ice cream. Yes, you go to an ice cream shop and you either want strawberry or vanilla. Yeah. So
No, I prefer to have
both.
a strong opinion. Can I say if you go to the store, yeah, you already should have preferences and just
Yeah.
not to decide in the store about this. So
A plan in advance. You should plan ahead.
yeah, and I don't know. It depends on your taste and all decision which we make. It depends on our taste. If to speak in general, I think.
So you would say your strategy is to plan in advance. Don't get to the shop and think, crap, what do I do now? Yeah, so I've got to make a decision. You would plan in advance so you don't get into this position. Who else is indecisive? So for me, I can't write a shopping list. Yeah, so I don't like the idea of planning food. I go to the supermarket and think, right, okay, yeah, make it up as I go along. And it doesn't work. So that strategy is not good. Chow, what about you?
Yeah, I have a comment about it. Actually, when we decide to which one should we buy, and we can see if the types is just 5, we can choose easily. But if there is 10 types of the food, we just become more indecisive. So my strategy is shrink the scope. I just don't see the other 5. I just choose 8 from the previous 5.
Yeah,
Even though the other 5 it may be good, but I just in a small scope. It will be easier for me to choose.
So on the one hand, it's great that we have so many products to choose from, but on the other hand, we've got to choose. That's the problem. Yeah. So maybe it would be easier if they just restricted the amount of stuff. But no. Okay. So
you just can, Martin, just can give with you particular amount of money, so not to be able to buy a huge amount of products, because to take with you just, I don't know, $20.
Yeah.
And it will be impossible to buy products
anything more than this, yeah.
Yeah, on $30. So
this happens. Yeah, with me, I need this. Yeah. So I get my girlfriend to control all my money because I have this problem. If I go to the supermarket, I will buy too much. So I have pocket money, and it works very, very well actually, because it does control your spending. But is anyone else like this? Yeah. So is anyone good? It's not certain things. It's things like food. Yeah. So food, maybe I'll buy too much, or buy extra cheese and you don't need extra cheese. Is anyone good at managing money and planning things like this in advance? Zuran, what about you?
At first, I want to make a notebook to remember to record my money, but at last I give up. I just spend, and at the end of the month I count how much I spend.
Okay, so you would do it like this, things like this, yeah. So it's not about buying the expensive things. I buy the cheaper things, but maybe I think, oh yeah, I could use this, or buy it and think, right, that's cheap, and then you take it home and you see the date and saying it's going off tonight, yeah, and you're thinking, okay, well, although the price was low, I'm not going to use this, or I'm going to have to eat all of it at once, which isn't good as well. But what about you when you're shopping for things like food? Are you disciplined?
Discipline? No, I don't go to the shop too much, and if I want to buy something somewhat emotional, I don't care about the price, and but that is why my girlfriend always say it is not good. He's studying accounting, so you know that.
Okay, yeah, so she manages and stuff, and it's quite well. But do you do this thing where? So I know the time I'll let you go. But would you trust your girlfriend to decide on the money? Yeah. So for me, it works very well.
Actually, I think economics is better than accounting. Accounting is just strict. Yeah.
So you're competing on the subjects. Yeah. So economics, you're like, yeah, let's choose the right prices. She's like, no, let's have the money. Okay, that's cool. Guys, I'll let you go now. It's been very interesting to speak with you, and I've got some more sessions later if you want to join. If not, take care. I'm going to let you answer now because I realized in the last class I hung up before someone said something. So any comments? Good. Okay, take care and speak to you later.
Just
Yep. Sure. Hello.
Okay. No, just to make emphasis on that. Yes, the girlfriend is better to manage money.
I think I don't want to generalize, but I think women generally are. Yeah. So I don't know if that's just a generalization, but I think so.
Most
I thought I was good, but I'm really not with money.
Crazy.
We're good at control money.
Yeah.
I don't think so. If
Dennis, go for it.
Shopping, you have to speak about shopping, about new dress, about
okay.
this stuff. It's dangerous to give her money.
Things like practical shopping, yeah. So boring shopping, I think, but yeah, it's true about the things like clothes and.
They are all crazy about discounts.
Yeah. So that's cool. Okay, let's continue with this next time. Take care. By the way, my screen is blank now because I've pressed leave. But anyway, okay, take care. See you later. Bye bye. Cheers.